Hello, hello. Hope everybody's doing good. We are going to be making this really cool project today. It's called a Perspective Snowman. So it's a little different than a traditional snowman because the view of the snowman is different. It's as if you're laying on the ground, kind of looking up at the snowman. So the perspective is a little bit different than just standing next to a snowman and how you would see it. I hope everyone had a great holiday. I know I did. It was awesome. I got to see some of my family, and I got my Christmas wish, you guys. My Christmas wish was for it to snow on Christmas. And guess what? Here in Erie, it snowed and it snowed and it snowed and it snowed. It was awesome. We got to go sled riding on Saturday, which was very fun. And yesterday I went for a hike. So it was beautiful. But now, unfortunately, it's warming up and it's kind of raining. So all the snow, I feel like all the snow is going to melt away, which is, it's no fun. I'd rather it just stay. I was hoping to, get some skiing in, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So I hope that all of you had fun. If you lived in Erie or someplace that you received a lot of snow, I hope that you were able to get out and play in the snow a little bit the last couple of days. All right, so let's talk about what we need for this class today. Again, we are creating a project called a Perspective Snowman. Now, this art project is actually inspired by another artist. She runs a page, a website called Design and Play, and I worked with her, gosh, a few years ago, creating an art box, which is an art project kit where you get everything in the box and then it gets shipped to you and you get to do that project. Well, she and I worked together, and the project that we shipped out was this project, was the snowman, the Perspective Snowman. So she is the one that created this project, and we've just done, we have recreated it multiple times, different materials. And so today I'm going to show you how to make this. It's a lot of fun. So what do you need for this project? Well, this project is a little bit different because of the paper that you need. So a snowman is white, right? So the snowman is white. So to make sure that you can see the white snowman, you have to use colored paper. So you'll need to get yourself a piece of construction paper. So any colored paper other than white. You do not want to use white paper. If you use white paper, then this isn't going to work. You're not going to see it. So you definitely need some white paper. Well, you definitely don't want white paper. Sorry. You don't want white paper for this project because it's not really going to work. So what you do need is some sort of colored paper. I'm just using like this tannish colored paper. I have big rolls of this, or you know what else you could do? You could even use a paper bag, an old paper bag that you're not using anymore. Cut it up and use that. You can use it a bunch of different times. So you need yourself a piece of colored paper. Gosh, you could even go with black if you wanted to. So colored paper, here's my blank piece that I'm going to reuse. So you need a piece of that. Then you also need some coloring utensils. And that can be anything that you want, but you need something white. So I'm going to be using colored pencils. Normally I would use oil pastels, but I am not in the studio for a couple of days, and guess what? I forgot to grab my oil pastels, so I don't have oil pastels to use. So instead I'm using colored pencils. I'm going to use colored pencils. Got my colored pencils here. I'm going to be using colored pencils and then also a Sharpie marker, but like I said, you can use any coloring utensils as long as you have white. So you definitely need white for the snowman. All right. You could also, if you really wanted to get fancy and you wanted to use some really nice, some really awesome art supplies, These are really great. These Posca pens, they're marker pens. Well, they're paint marker pens, and they create really nice white marks. The white is very opaque, which means that it covers really solid, so you can't really see through it. So I really like these. So if you are ever looking for something white, a white, marker pen, these are awesome, and they are linked in the Amazon store if you want to check those out later. You'll also want to get yourself a pencil. You're going to need a pencil and an eraser. You definitely want an eraser. Oh, I gotta get my eraser here. Eraser. Oh, there's my eraser. Eraser. So I think I got all my supplies. My paper, pencil, eraser, and my other coloring utensils, which are right here. I'm using colored pencils. You can use anything as long as you have a white coloring utensil. You have to have white for the snowman. All right. I think I'm also going to use a Sharpie. I'm going to use a Sharpie for this. Okay, so I think I've got everything that I need. So why don't we go ahead and get started? If you're new, if this is your first time joining in, I'm Rachel with RLB Art Studio, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a perspective snowman. He looks like this, and we teamed up with our friends over at Design and Play. If you want to make more of these, be sure to check them out because they have a lot of other varieties of this snowman. So let me tell you why this is called a perspective snowman. This is called a perspective snowman because of the way that you're looking at the snowman. It's almost as if you are laying down on the ground looking up at the snowman. So he's going to look very different than if you were standing right next to him at eye level. So we wanted to create something a little bit different. We all know how to draw a snowman, but this is a perspective snowman, so it's a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and lower my screen, and then we're going to get started. Feel free to add any comments that you would like, if you have any questions, all that fun stuff. But let's go ahead and get started. So here we go. I've got my my paper here. Now, again, I try to do everything upside down so you guys can see it better. So what we want to do first is you're going to take your pencil, and at the bottom, so here's the bottom corner, right? So you have two corners here and then two corners at the top. So we're gonna go to the bottom corner, and what we want to do here is we are going to kind of draw part of a circle right over here. So just part of a circle. So it looks something like this. Part of a circle like that. So there's part of my circle. Now let me show you what it looks like next to, the one that's finished. So here's the finished one. So we just created this spot right here. All right, so we just made that. Okay, so it's right here. So next what we want to do is on top of the bottom partial circle, we want to make a bigger circle. So, but we're not making a full circle, only making part of a circle. So it goes on top like this. This is the next thing that we're creating right here. So we're going to go here and draw it lightly. You want to draw light so you get it right. There we go. Okay, so there is my second circle, and snowmen are usually made up of 3. So the next one we want to do is the head. So we've got to make the head right here. And this is also a partial circle. You're not going all the way around. You're just, making a partial circle. All right, so there's what we have so far. We have so far with our snowman. Now from here, what we want to do is you're not going to color him in white yet. You're just going to kind of leave this alone. What you are going to do, though, is you're going to start adding in his other things. So he's got a scarf. So let's go ahead and add his scarf in. So the scarf would go in between the first circle, the smallest one, and the middle circle. Actually, they're partial circles. So the scarf is going to go like right in here. So all you really need to do is you need to make a line on this side, and then a line on this side, and then you connect them together. There's one, and then there's the other one right there. Now see all this stuff inside of here? You have some pencil lines in there. Guess what you can do? Just get rid of them. That's why you always want an eraser. Plus, you know, when you do something for the first time, you're probably going to make mistakes. So, okay, now when I make my scarf, I like to make it look like the scarf is blowing in the wind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, I'm going to start over here, and I have lots of space on this side. So I'm going to have my scarf going this way. I'm going to start at the top of my scarf that wraps around his neck. I'm going to draw a slightly curved line, not crazy, and I'm going to go all the way to the edge of my paper. And then what I need to do is I'm going to do the same thing over here. Start below right here. And then I'm going to draw another curved line, but I'm going to have it get a little wider as I get towards the edge. See? Something like that. Okay, next up, what we want to do is the snowman. We want to give him some earmuffs. So we're going to give the snowman some earmuffs. And to do that, we want to make a kind of like a oval over here. Oval on one side. And we want to come over to the other side and we want to make an oval. Right here like this. Just like that. Now anything that's inside of here, guess what you're going to do? You want to erase. That's what we have so far. Okay, now if you're wearing earmuffs, you have to have a headband that holds them together, right? So you just use the top of the head as one line, and then you draw another one like that. So they look like they're connected. There you go. Okay, and now it is time to start adding some color. So now we're going to add some color. And again, you can use any coloring utensil that you would like. I'm going to be using my colored pencils. Now, normally for this project, I said like before that I would really have liked to have used my oil pastels, but I'm not in the studio and I forgot to grab them when I left, so I don't have oil pastels. So what do? Well, I choose the next best thing, and that is colored pencils. So the first thing you want to do is you can start by coloring in the snowman. So we want to color in the snowman first. All right, so I'm going to grab my white pencil, my white colored pencil. You can use white crayon, you could use white oil pastel. If you have some paint markers, you could use those. Anything white will work for this. And so you need something white. Something white. All right, let's see if I have some, I need a sharpener because my pencil is very, very dull. I use it a whole bunch. All right, well, anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start coloring in. Now, when I color this in, I want to go in a specific direction. I kind of want to follow the original lines that I made. See, I'm kind of going like this. Now, this will make it look more rounded if you color it in this way. Then I'm also going to show you how to add some shadowing. I gotta sharpen my pencil already because it's really dull. Look at that. Time to sharpen. Sharpen the pencils. Okay, back to coloring. So what supplies are you guys using? You've got oil pastels you could use. Like I said, that would be my preference, especially the Pentel oil pastels. Oh, they work so good. They just glide along your paper. Then you can blend them really nicely too. There's the bottom of my snowman. He's colored in. Now I'm going to work on the top here. And again, I'm trying to color this in, kind of following the curves of the circle. And the only problem with colored pencils is that it uses, when you color this in, it actually uses a lot of the colored pencil up. So there's that. And then the last thing I need to do, what brand? So the brand of colored pencil, these are really nice colored pencils. These are Prismacolors. And then the paint markers are Posca. Now, on my Amazon store, I have both of these linked. So I'll plug the link into the Amazon store when the video is over. So if you're looking for these supplies, you can find them right on the Amazon store. I tried to link everything so it would be easier to find stuff. Because you know what? The art world is crazy. There are so many different supplies. And it can be very, very, very overwhelming. And very expensive. So you want to make sure, you know, when you buy art supplies, you're getting something that's decent, that's not going to, you know, you want it to work the way that it's designed to work. But sometimes you can buy supplies, you know, you can get art supplies and they just are not very good. We spend a lot of time in the studio testing out supplies. You know, I'm always buying supplies, different art supplies, different mediums, and we're testing them out and figuring out, okay, what do we like the best? What works really well? All right, so there we go. The snowman's colored in with white. Now, to make him look like he's more three-dimensional, more rounded, you know, more like these are spheres instead of circles, I give a little bit of a shadow. So I pick another color, like maybe, I think I'm going to go with this, I'm going to use like a light blue here. And I'm just going to add a little bit of shadowing in here. So like right here, where the two partial circles meet, I'm going to add a little bit of blue in here. So it looks like this, just a little bit. Add a little bit of blue in. Bring it down a little bit, not all the way. Okay. And then maybe over here, I might give a little shadow, like under the scarf and along the side here. Maybe the scarf would be casting a shadow. Okay. And then maybe a little bit up here underneath where the earmuffs are. Now, of course, you could give your snowman a hat if you wanted to, something other than earmuffs. It really just depends on what you want to do. This is your project, so you get to decide. All right, there we go. So we've got some other colors added in, so now it looks more three-dimensional. Okay, next up is we can add some color to the scarf and to the earmuffs. Again, I am using not the oil pastels. I wish I had my oil pastels. I am using colored pencils. Colored pencils, these Prismacolors work really well on colored paper. They're a really nice pencil. They're a little on the more expensive side, but if you feel like that you really want to use high quality art supplies, these are them. They end up looking, once you use them properly, once you know how to use them, they look more like paint than they do pencils. Now where I added the ovals right here, I'm kind of making them a little irregular, making them a little curvy so they look more like an earmuff, like a furry earmuff. Go. And now, do I want to keep this red or do I want to choose another color? I guess I'm going to just go with red here. I don't know why. I think I'm going to have my scarf match my earmuffs here. There we go. There's the earmuffs. I need to give this a little sharpen. Okay, and now I'm going to come over here and color my scarf in. Now, one thing with colored pencils is when you do use colored pencils, you kind of want to color in one direction. So what I mean by that, see how I'm using my pencil side to side? You want to do that because if you color all over the place and it gets all scratchy, if you color in multiple directions, it ends up looking all scratchy. But what you can do is after you color in one direction, if you want it to cover better, go back an opposite direction. Whoops. You know what? I have to say, this sharpener that I'm using is not a good sharpener. It's terrible, actually. It's breaking the pencils. I found some of the best sharpeners at the Dollar Tree, which is crazy. But they don't ruin the pencils. So you can go back this direction. And then here's my scarf. So I'm going to just color this in all red. I'm going in one direction as I color this in. Tell you what, today is a great day to make some art. It is not very nice out. It's rainy. It's gonna get all wet and muddy. So today is a great day to make some art. So thanks for joining in. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the YouTube channel, RLB Art Studio. We keep uploading more how-to videos, more art tutorials. There is a bunch of cool stuff that you could watch. You could create a pop-up amusement park. You could do some more holiday art, a gingerbread house, the Grinch, elf on a shelf. And then, of course, this will be up there too. Okay, moving along. Let's move on to, what do we have left to do? Oh, he needs some arms, right? Let's give him some arms. So some stick arms. So again, I am using the colored pencils. So I'm going to use this. I'm actually going to use a couple colors. I'm going to use this burnt, it's like a sienna brown. So his arms, one arm is going to go like here. And I actually have it starting inside of the snowman. And then I kind of just make like a wiggly line like that. And then I thicken it up a little bit towards the bottom. And then I split it so it looks more like a stick. Maybe a couple more down here. So there's one stick arm. And let's go ahead over here and make another one. Now this one I'm going to have hiding behind his scarf. So it's going to start here, jump over the scarf, and then I'm going to thicken it up down here, and then I'm going to split it. There we go. There's his other stick arm. Kind of looks like he's standing over you, doesn't he? Okay. Next, if you want to make this look more realistic, you can take a darker color and you could add some wavy lines inside if you wanted to. This just makes it look a little bit, gives it, a little bit more texture, makes it look a little bit more like a stick, like bark. This is an optional step, but I like to do this to mine because I like it to look more, I like to add more than one color. Here's what we have so far. So what do we have left for this guy? Well, we have, let's see, gosh, we need the nose, right? The carrot top nose. So his nose is triangular, right? And carrots are orange. So I'm going to draw part of my triangle, the end of my triangle here, and then it's going to kind of go this way towards his earmuff. Like that. And then I'm going to color it in. Just like that. Okay. Now carrots, they have grooves in them. So if you're feeling up to it, you could take your brown here and you could add like little lines in here. If you wanted to. It's all about what you decide you want to do. This is your project, so you decide. And give them some little lines in there. All right, what is next? So it looks like we only have like one step left, and that is using I'm going to use a black marker, a black Sharpie marker for this step. You could use any black coloring utensil that you'd like. But the first thing is I'm going to add his buttons down here, and they're just irregular, very regular shapes. They're actually called organic shapes. Just some random organic shapes. And then he needs some eyes. Same thing. And then the very last thing is his mouth right here. I don't know about you guys, but I remember building a snowman and I couldn't find like rocks and I didn't have coal to use. So my mom suggested raisins. And so we made snowmen sometimes with raisins. And what was really cute is the birds would come and eat the raisins later. And there we go. And now we have another Perspective Snowman. So check it out. Now there's two of them. Now, if you wanted to, there's other things that you could do, like in the background. If you wanted to add some snow falling, my goodness, go ahead. I'm going to show you how these markers work. I'm going to show you how bright they are as far as white go, the white in them. So they are paint markers, so you have to press them down to get to have the paint come out of the tip because the paint's all in here. So let's see, I can press a little bit. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna just make some like simple snowflakes. There's one. And you could really jazz them up if you wanted to. Give them some V's on the ends. I love these. I absolutely love these pens. And in fact, one of my students, a few of my students, my middle schoolers and my high schoolers, they told me, they're like, Miss Rachel, you have got to try these pens. And I'm like, these marker pens. I'm like, okay. So I did, and I am so glad I did because they were right. They are awesome. I mean, look at that. Look at how nice and opaque that means. When somebody says that a color or a material is opaque, that just means that it's a solid color. You can't see through it because then you have some things that are transparent. And transparent means, well, you can see through it. And sometimes when you make art, you don't want something to be transparent. You want it to be opaque. So these are very opaque. A few more. I don't know. He's in a snowstorm. It's like it was on Christmas. If you don't have one of these paint markers, these paint pens, you can always just use your colored pencil or your crayon against your colored paper. That's why I suggested colored paper for this project, so you could see the white. These pens come in different sizes too. So this one, let's see, they're all different sizes. This one is a 5. This one is a 3 that I'm using. So you can see the tips, the difference in the tip sizes, so they are definitely different. And then check out this one. This one's huge. Oh, here we go. Look at that one. That one's huge. So if you wanted to, you could just do like dots here. Dots all over for snow. Some of these are getting a little low because we've been using them a lot, which means I'm going to have to order more. There we go. So that, everybody, is the last step of this project. Of course, if you see pencil lines and you don't want to see those anymore, I'll come in and kind of erase them. Get a little erase, get rid of them. I hope that you enjoyed this project. I know it was a little bit of a quicker one than some of the other ones that I have taught, but yeah, that is how you make a perspective snowman. There it is. Look at how cute he is. So he's a perspective snowman because it's actually a different perspective. You're looking, it's as if you're laying on the ground and you're looking up at the snowman and he's looking down on you. Here's another one right here. This one right here. This one, you're not, he's not leaning over looking at you as far. But this one, he's really leaning over. He's like, hey, what are you doing down there? Are you making snow angels? Are you searching for treasure in the snow? Well, anyway, that was today's art project. I hope that you enjoyed it. I will save this video, and of course it will be available on YouTube, and you can check out the Amazon store for all of these art supplies that were used for this project today. And until next time, I hope that you continue to make lots of art and have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining in, everybody.